Ugh. Thank you. Here at the end, I just made it to the city with no faces. We were ambushed by two mysterious figures who claimed they were taking you to Nefara. So they say Nefara, one of the gods, sent you here to get us? Who are you? I'm Lord Drax. She is Midius. You might have heard of us. Drax grins as he spins a sword, still glowing red hot from the spell Midius cast on it. They are the old gods. The old gods are real. So these are the ones who create the Shadow Realm. They are the gods of combat and magic, to be precise. What a kind introduction. Now, why don't you come with us willingly? You're not gonna like my brother's version of fun. Not fair. W? Why can't we talk this out? Are we not talking right now? But you sort of explained why Nefara sent you after us, or what she wants with us. Do you have a counter proposal? We, don't go with you? Proposing that we let you go while even offering anything in return. Bold, but impossible. Do you think they're still stoppable? I want way to find out. Portia, take Hooters and get to the cover. Be careful, Elrond. You run, Nitrax. A weapon materializing in your hand as you call out to your companions. Adora, Relics, take out Medius. Everyone else with me. You aim at one of the gaps in Drax's armor, but he lifts his massive shield with ease to block it. What an interesting technique. You saved the world twice. You fought owlbears and shadowhounds, mud creatures and shadow core, but you cannot land a hit. The red hot blade of his sword threatens to scald you with every strike, and you barely manage to sidestep it, the molten metal it leaves behind. Damn it. This is more than a masterclass in combat. This is the actual god of it, and he's toying with you. Time out, now. You should not take any of us. Till his sword clashes with Nitrax's, the glowing aura he has cast around it, keeping it from melting. But all it takes is just a flick of Nitrax's wrist to jerk the blade out of Terrell's hand and send it skittering across the ground. This clearly isn't working. Mal flings two daggers that bounce harmlessly off Nitrax's armor, but the attacks make him turn, leaving his back to you. This spectral sight whistles through the air as you draw it across his back. Stabbable, confirmed, Mal. But then you watch with dismay. Then you watch with dismay as his wound heals before your very eyes. Nitrax turns on you with a merry smile. Good one. Do it again. Your friends spring forward at Nitrax, and you're about to do the same. We hear Imtor shout across the battlefield. Elrond, things are getting a little weird over here. You turn to see Medius still floating where she was, but with a glittering golden shield orbiting around her. Valix and Imtor bash at it with spells and steel alike, but nothing seems to make a dent. Medius doesn't even seem to notice them. Good luck with that. No one gets you my sister's magic. If that's not working, come and help. Then Medea suddenly grasps her head, slowly sinking to the ground as she begins to murmur to herself. Ebb and flow, follow the light. She's casting a spell, but your focus is abruptly drawn back to Nitrax as he swings at you with his molten sword. With a searing heartbreak coming right at you, you dive for the ground, rolling out of the way. Missed me. You push yourself back onto your feet, narrowly dodging a pool of hot metal as you go. You're quick. I'll give you that. Oh, I love a challenge. That wasn't. You don't have time to finish your dot, for Nitrax bashes you hard with the front of his shield, sending you sprawling. Get away from him. Aaron lunges forward with a knife. Nitrax doesn't even look at him as he bats him away, gaze fixated on you. Why are you doing this? What do you want? It's nothing personal, really. We just need to keep you apart from your bodies. Our bodies? What do you mean? You hear a strange sound, almost like water in the rim of a glass, as Maiden speak. On her feet once more, though her eyes still seem far away. That's quite enough, brother. You say too much. Nitrax turns to her and shrugs, effortlessly dodging swipes from the Toro and Valix as they give up their attempts to break Jew Minius' shield. I don't know how to say that name, it is not obvious. Why worry about it? It's not like they can beat both of us. Okay, this guy is really starting to piss me off. I know what to do. Disarm him. Get his sword and shield away from him. Your feint knocks Nitrax off balance, allowing Nia to pull his shield into Tora's hand with a whip of magic. We'll just take that. Terrell crosses blades with Nitrax, his sword surrounded by Valk's dark energy, and the blow kicks Nitrax's sword away. But a moment later, both the sword and the shield reappear in his hands. You thought you were the only one with a special weapon? I got this, Iron. Valk's body begins to grow and shift, pulsing with purple shadow. She takes her dragon form. Why don't you try me on for size? She releases a gout of glowing purple fire right at Nitrax, forcing him to crouch as he covers himself with his shield. Get him. Oh, now that is fun. But the moment she lets up, he whips his shield forward, drawing it with terrifying force. The shield slams to the center of Alex's chest, shattering some of her ribs before wedging itself into the glowing crystal at her heart. The Nitrax launches himself at her, raising his sword and smashing it right into the center of her skull. She crashes to the ground at his feet, dragon form gone, as she growls in pain and rage. I will end you. You are hopelessly outmatched. Allow us a demonstration. Medius draws up a glittering shield, shutting you off from Valix, who just runs out, only to smash into the barrier. Ooh. No, not again. Nitrax lifts his red-hot sword and drives it straight to her chest. Ah! Her body jerks and goes still, while the rest of you watch on in horror. She can't die. She's already dead. How can she die? But not a moment later, Val's gasps, sitting up wild-eyed and terrified. What? Who? To answer your question, pirate, she cannot die now, but every grievous wound takes a memory. The more we cut, the more she will forget herself. Sorry, should have led with that. Some say it's a fate worse than death. I don't agree. The past is overrated. Nitrax raises his sword again, looking right at you. You just coming forward, hands raised. Wait. Give it back to us, and we'll go with you. If we surrender, trust me. Medius nods, lets the barrier fall, just as you reach into your pocket and draw the summoning whistle. What's that gonna do? Call some help. The whistle emits an awful sound, and then the horizon turns volcanic as a flock of firebirds comes headed right for you. I appreciate the potential distraction, but How do we know they're not going to go for the weakest prey first? They feed on memories, right? And who has more memories than an immortal being? Midas looks uneasily at the firebirds as they begin to circle. What are these? The flock suddenly dies the two old gods, with Meteus barely having time to draw a shield up around her and Nitrax. Time to go. That won't hold them forever. Quickly, to the city. You pull Valx to her feet, and you all make a run for it, leaving the eerie red glow of the firebirds behind you. You charge into the city, careening past stone columns and blazing torches. When to skid to a stop, she'll come around the corner. Portia's guidebook should have prepared you for this, but your jaw still drops at as you survey the scene. All around you are dwarves, but their faces lack typical features, like a piece of stone that's been smoothly polished. Wow, when they say no faces, they really mean no faces, huh? Mel, don't be rude. It's quite alright, dear. We don't mind. Realm Walker. How did he get here so fast? I don't see minions. Maybe we should do their attention? If we fight here, the doors are going to get caught in crossfire. Hey, please, you need to run. You rush forward to engage the faceless dwarves, but they don't respond. You're not even sure they can hear you. Why aren't they listening? They have no fear anymore, Avon. They're too close to the end. They're close to the end, alright. Nitrax bursts out of an alley. Mary, smile gone for the first time. That was dishonorable. Last I checked, someone's taking people's bodies. You weren't using them anymore. And whose fault is that? Val stumbles, mouth sliding his arm under her shoulder to help her. I don't know how much longer I can keep this up. Where are we going, Kit? You can feel your breath, your body, and even your mind kick to another speed as you reach for the power you felt near the winged warrior. You rush forward to find a side street, then double back in the blink of an eye. This way. Nia suddenly freezes in the middle of the street, her eyes glowing. Then she whips around to look at Nitrax. Nitrax is gonna aim for Mal. Huh? What are you? Nitrax drops down from above, landing right in front of Mal, who immediately pushes Valx pathetically behind him. Don't just stand there. Arian conjures a sword to stop Nitrax, but Nitrax flings him into the wall without a second thought for raising his blade at Mal. Yeah, shield! He drew his shield up in front of Mal, nearly blocking the red-hot blade. That's my thief. You can come with him then. He pivots on the ball of his foot to swing at you. His blade slices a deep cut into your side. Get. The pain is near blinding, but it also leaves you with an unnerving sense of heaviness, like you're trying to move through mud. Everyone, we need to go. I'm coming. The world swims around you as whispers come from everywhere, eerily calm but insistent. Stranger, cool, leave. Shades travel in and out of the vision in snatches of images. A glinting dwarven eye, a gold death braid, and then eerily smooth skin. Thank you, my friends. You're not getting away. But the faceless dwarves surround him, swallowing him in a sea of serene but insistent orders. Leave. Leave. You keep pushing forward until you can no longer hear the chanting of the dwarves or the clattering of metal armor. I know I said I wanted to fight, but that was too close. But we did it. We lost them. You duck into a small, empty home and collapse against the wall, your head still swimming. Brutus climbs into your lap, nuzzling his face against your chest. You can feel pieces of yourself slipping through your fingers like sand, dreading to disappear and impossible to save. Hold on to this camp barricade. You close your eyes, trying to picture every detail you can remember, even as your head pounds. Being out in the woods with Cade and the kids, singing around a fire. For the world was so scary. You grit your teeth, and suddenly the memory snaps into place like a chain link in an iron shirt. You're right over there, Armand. You're awfully quiet. We can't stay here. We're not safe, and we can't outrun them. We can't outrun them if I stay in my dragon form. Just give me it. She pauses, blinking. Then she closes her eyes again, only to open them, confused. I can't change? Why can't I change? Rose, you got really hurt. See you died twice today. I can't imagine how it felt. I've been made and I've made plenty of times, Armand. This is different. I will need an explanation on that at some point. Not the time. It's just gone. I know I can become a dragon, but I don't remember how. Just as Media said, the worse the injury, the greater the memory loss. That explains why I felt so out of it. But to think we could lose more than just our memories, that we could lose our abilities. We'll make it do. But thanks for saving my ass back there, Armand. And you, Princeling. A valiant and amusing effort. I'm sorry I couldn't do more. Mal gives him an affectionate shove. I'm thanking you for your effort. Pay attention. Honestly, I wouldn't have even known you were in danger if Mia hadn't called out to me. How did you know Nitros was going to go after him? I don't know. I just saw Mal getting hit. Then I blinked, and I realized it hasn't happened yet.
Why do you got all the cool powers?
It's actually very frightening, Mal. I never got a lot to unpack, but doesn't it bother you that those God-D folk said they need to keep us apart from our bodies?
I'm very bothered. You're always bothered.
Right now, all that matters is getting to the bottom of this. The Wind Warrior killed us and took our souls, and now the gods are after us. It all has to be connected. We must reach this dwarven collective consciousness quickly. If I may argue with you, young man, take some time to tend to your wounds. You turn to see Portia sitting contentedly at the table, eyes crinkling, and she offers you a soft smile. There are ways to recover forgotten memories, to make new ones to fill the voids. That type of healing is just as important as the physical. Now, I don't mean to alarm you, dear, but I am feeling a little too rested, I think. She blinks, and her face falls away. Well, a moment later, the rest of her form seems to shift, so she looks identical to the dwarves you saw in the market. Don't be afraid, Elrond. This is a good thing for all of us. If Nitros gets close, I'll know. I agree with what Portia said about healing our wounds. Even if I can only get part of it remembered and shaped them back, it will benefit us. Will you help me, Elrond? I know you were hurt before as well. Perhaps we can heal together. Help Valis recover her memories and process the challenges you face. You also receive a means of healing these new wounds. Where shall we go? Oh. Perhaps our shared dream space. If we can still get to it, it'll be more private. Closing your eyes, you find yourself in a familiar blue space. At your side, Val's gasp as though she's been underwater for a lifetime. What's wrong? I couldn't. I didn't want them to see me upset. Alex, you ever seen you upset plenty of times. Every time we escaped you, we needed chain us together. Just last week. Not like this. She closes her arms, unable to meet your eyes. My life was slipped away from me when I only barely started living it. Now I'm losing memories too. Not only that, I had to watch my friends be cut down while I could do nothing. First with that creature, and now these gods. Alex, this was some kind of punishment for what I've done in the past. I'm only sorry you were all dragged into it. Hey, you don't deserve to be punished. I'm not supposed to be able to die, Avon. That can be the only reason I'm here. You're working with the tools and information you had at the time, Alex, just like the rest of us. You were raised to think of your enemies as inhuman. Not anymore. That's what I'm saying, Alex. You're learning better now. I wish I could say what you went through was uncommon, but it isn't. Just ask Erin. You put your hand on her shoulder, and she finally turns to face you, some of the tension bleeding out of her. I'm not sure I agree that this is not my fault, but thank you for trying to say so, everyone. I'm going to keep saying so until you believe me. Now, let's figure out how to dragify you again. I did not even know where to begin. Your magic's based on emotions, right? Since it's all shadow? So let's focus on that. Show me of a time you were pissed off. There's so many. Let's try and sing out one. Maybe one that isn't complicated. Like one of the novels that really annoys you. All of them. There's so much baggage they insist on bringing when I stay at the palace. Focus on that, and see if it helps. Faust closes her eyes tight, balling her fist. Valis closes her eyes tight, balling her hands up into her fist. It looks a little silly, but you hope it does the trick. Come on, dragon. A minute passes, then two. Finally, she releases her tension, frowning. Nope. Okay, maybe we should start with something smaller. Why don't you try flying? As I am, you mean? I guess. Tell yourself to get wings or levitate or whatever makes you feel most dragon-like. She closes her eyes and balls up her fist again, when suddenly you hear a bone cracking sound from her back. Alex? I'm alright. Then two large purple wings burst from her back. Oh hell, does that hurt? No more than my usual transformations. I do feel a little... Whoosh. A string of flame erupts from Alex's mouth. She comes in surprise, clapping her fingers over her mouth. Did you mean to do that? She squeezed cautiously, as though afraid more flame may erupt from her mouth. No, but it's a start. She gives her wings a couple of tentative flaps before they fade away. May I hug you, Aaron? Go for it. She practically tackles you as she draws her arms around you, an uncanny strength for her muscles. I meant to ask how you were doing. About what you expect given the circumstances. What about the memory loss thing? Still trying to process the dying thing. If there's anything I can do to help, please let me. And thank you for giving me back part of myself. You're the best tutor I've ever had. Given my competition is a bunch of military experts and your mother, I'm not surprised. But you did that mostly yourself. I just encouraged it. You tuck a stray strand of her hair behind her ear as you lean over. As you lean in to give her a soft peck on the forehead. You may not be able to turn into a dragon anymore, but you're so much more than that, Alex. You mean so much more to me. She rests her forehead against yours, a soft smile on her face as she pulls you in close. And you may just be the best thing that ever happened to me around. You give her cheek a quick kiss, grin as you watch a blush darken her face. Now, we should probably get back to the others before they think we actually fell asleep. But when you leave the dream space and come back to reality, you're surprised to find a strange orb in your hands. Is this the memory we just made? If what Portia said is true, we can use this to heal. You turn it over in your hands and place it in your bag. Indeed, it will serve you well. You stealthily leave the house, carefully creeping your way through the city before Portia takes the lead. Follow, friends. I'll be your guide. You follow Portia to a temple with beautiful stained glass into a chamber that radiates light, bright but not burning. It is as though the sun floats before you. It speaks with the voice of thousands, all calm, happy, but present. Welcome, friends. I'm the end of all things. At last, I am home. Portia walks ahead and then dissolves into glowing embers that float up to the ceiling to join the pulsing light. Portia. Fear not. She's not gone. She's still right here. She's still right here still. One more time. Fear not. She is not gone. She is right here still. That is either the most beautiful or the most terrifying thing I have ever seen. Beautiful. Beautiful. Terrifying. Oh, we have a lot of opinions. Thank you for bringing Portia to us. It's a hard journey to make alone. But I believe you have questions. So, you are actually a bunch of people? The sun tilts a little, like a puppy trying to comprehend the immensity of the world. Yes and no. We were people before we came to the end. But we becomes I. You still say we though. It all feels the same to us, but perhaps it's not so for you. Sorry, it's not often we converse with those outside our race. It was a welcome learning experience. So, do you already know why we're here? I know what you knew, that you were seeking help and seeking answers. We agree that you were not meant to die. The world below has long been out of balance, and this is yet another sign. There must be something that can be done. Yes, there's a door. A way to escape the afterlife. This gate must have restrictions. Otherwise, everyone will try to use it. Yes, very well. The gate only opens in very few circumstances. Even I do not understand it all, but we do know she will be close by. The follow, you mean? The Shaper. She is needed to keep things going. Adding, breaking, going. Ch3 said we needed to be kept away from our bodies. Why would he say that? Could it have something to do with the door? The impulses were light, clearly thinking. We have been considering this ever since Portia joined us. It puzzles me. I must examine things in closer detail than I have in a long time. We remained here, brave Elrond, while I considered myself. Not like we got much choice. We'll stay. Just let us know when you figure it out. As you and your party step into the next room, you can still hear the great sun humming to itself. You spot Aaron hanging back in the doorway, fidgeting with his clothes as he looks around the various statues. You casing the joint, Aaron? What? No. I was just thinking. Portia said they don't have need of material things here. Did you see something you wanted? I want something to fight with. Something concrete. My relationship with magic is complicated. I don't have my economical tools here. I need something else. Well, I'm sure the droids won't mind if you take one of their spears or something. I recently saw an arena full of weapons on the way in. I was wondering if you might help me pick one. The warrior tutors relied heavily on theory. As you saw, my swordsmanship is somewhat lacking. I could use some pointers. Will you ask me to spar with you, Aaron? In hopes of no longer feeling utterly useless. Yes. So the sparring ground with Aaron to learn more about his past and find an item that will grant him insight into power. Grant him a power? I don't care. You can't. I'm kidding. You follow Aaron to the sparring arena. The dwarven weapons are a little out of proportion for you, but when you pick them up, their sizes adjust to fit. That's a neat trick. I wonder if they make them this way because they used to compose of an empire and a society of gods. The thought of that is honestly a little horrifying. What? So the spare to the drone leaves home and becomes an anarchist? Cliche, I know, but I consider it progress. You've been making a lot of progress. I mean, stepping in to help Malik, you did. You two are finally friends. You truly think so? Aaron abruptly clears his throat and turns away, his face flushing. I mean, that's entirely up to him. I just wish it had actually helped. It was a brave thing to do. Really. Melee combat isn't your forte, Aaron, but you didn't let that stop you. I have you know, I'm not terrible with a blade. I spent years training with one. Yet, you chose to draw little exploding beads, and you were the one who just said your swordsmanship was lacking? You took a risk for Mal, to protect him. Pretty sure that's the textbook definition of bravery. I respectfully concede the point. Holds out aside as he continues looking through the weapons racks. You seem to be holding up better than everyone else, given everything that's happened. Seeing me and the others cut down, worrying that you were about to be, that was far worse than my own death. And honestly, God was trying to kill us, notwithstanding, I quite like it here. I never took you for an optimist. I've been looking for a new start for as long as I can remember everyone. That night in the Temple of Eleva, I thought I found one. But the morning came, and I ran. History repeats itself until death. Hopefully not after death. He finally looks back over at you, holding your gaze. Perhaps that's why it feels like there's potential here. A way to atone for all my mistakes. To begin again. I cannot do that unless I can defend myself. And how about you show me how well you can handle a blade? I would have thought my earlier performance was enough. As you wish. You toss him a sword, but the variety of weapons available, you decided to try something new. Do you actually know how to use that thing? Do you? I walked right into that one, didn't I? With a laugh, you spring forward, twirling the mace above your head before whipping out Aaron. He lifts his sword to block, causing the chain to tangle around his blade before you can yank it away. A quick twist of his wrist frees it. Slippery as ever. You take another swing, but this time he merely steps to the side, your weapon whooshing past him. He's got surprisingly good technique, but lacks follow drill, like he's always bracing to be hit rather than hitting first. Not bad. You can hold your own defensively. But I still think you'd be more comfortable at range. You're not wrong. So I doubt a traditional bow would do much to what we're facing down there. Now let's find something that isn't a bow. You look through the bags and trunks till you pull out a small leather-bound book filled with rune-covered pages. I know you said that your relationship with magic was complicated, but I do think you'd be well suited for it. I never done magic before. Well, not without. A dreadlord-sized silence settles between you. Well, it seems like everyone can do something down here, even Mal and Tora, and I bet this book could help. I'm willing to give it a try, to do magic on my own terms. Light and shadow magic don't seem to have the same repercussions here, but I'm still going to insist on you primarily using true magic. Understandable, but I know even less about it than I do light and shadow. Just stay focused and disciplined. No offense, but I feel like light magic is going to be the harder thing for you to access. Wherever did you get that idea? Maybe from all the crazy shadow corruption I saw coming out for you. Speaking of, you never really told me how that happened. The Dreadlord began speaking to me when I was quite young, often enough that the shadow picked up my intentions, you could say. One day I accidentally blasted Baldur when he wasn't looking. Wow, how old were you? 9. I was lucky not to be caught, given Baldur preferred to torment me in private, but a bookshelf had fallen over, and he blamed it on that. They gave me the Narada stone the next day. Hang on, you had that thing in your chest since you were 9? I was relieved, honestly, aside from the pain. I didn't like feeling out of control like that. Cade has this theory that all humans have a little shadow in them, and that's why so much of Marillion culture is based on emotion. And what do you think? I'm not sure I should really have an opinion on it, to be honest. I'm not human. I don't know how it feels to be you. But you were raised among more rebellions. Surely you have some insight. I think maybe all of us have a little shadow in us. I think maybe we all have a little shadow in us. Maybe it's because I was raised Marillion, but I always felt a little bit of shadow in me. I didn't recognize it then, but now that I've been around it enough, it feels familiar. How do you mean? Rage, sadness, hurt. It all wants to live in my body more than I'd like it to, like it has a life of its own. So to hear Marilla at the dark side, what a relief. It's very depressing when you were flawless aside from your overly trusting nature. You groan. Gee, thanks. Curious, I'll admit, I think I do prescribe to your brother's little theory, at least as it pertains to the Veloros. I always struggled to manage my feelings, and you had no doubt. And as you no doubt know, my father and brother were similarly disposed to fits of acute displeasure. That environment sounds very toxic. You have no idea. As far as I know, the only person in my family who wasn't prone to such feelings was my late mother. And how did she die? I forget how little history reaches the lovely backwaters of our great nation. She died in her sleep. The court physicians could never figure out why. The double priest said the light needed her back, whatever that meant. Whatever that means. That's awful. I'm sorry. There's no need to be sorry. We're all dead now, aren't we? Perhaps I'll even see her. I'm not sure what she would think of me, or what she knows. He swallows and reaches out to take the book from your hands. Anyway, I feel a strong need to control my emotions, so why don't I try casting out on this thing? Setting up on opposite sides of the arena, take a deep breath. As Aaron opens the book, you can see the runes glow, and you charge. He traces the runes, the light pulsing brighter and brighter, until a wave of ice springs from the book right at you. I did it. Not quite. You dodge the wave of ice and tackle Aaron to the ground, laughing as he struggles beneath you. His skin is warm and flushed from the effort, and his eyes go wide as you lean down to peck his cheek. I want, even after all that's happened between you, The way he breathes your name with such awe, it sounds heavenly. I'm proud of you, Aaron. Why? You sit up a little so you can look down at him in more detail, brushing a stray strand of hair out of his face. Because you played a losing hand trying to help someone else. I'll admit it wasn't the most prudent move. But there are worse places I could have wound up than lying underneath you. On that, I have to agree. He gives the tip of his nose a teasing kiss, relishing the blush that spreads across his face. You roll off from him and help him back onto his feet, picking up the spellbook and take one last look at it as you pass it to Aaron. I can't wait to see what you do with it. I need to practice more, but this was very gracious of you, Armand. I admit, I get that a lot. Perhaps I'm just not used to being on the other side of them. Well, you better get used to it then, because I'm not stopping anytime soon. And I'll do my best. Soon, the door of unconsciousness beckons you back into the chamber. You start just playing, but looks almost worried. Sorry for the delay, brave Armand. This is far shorter than we realize. Time is far shorter than we realize. It is a rare thing in the world below, and so we did not consider it. What's wrong? Those you call the old gods, the Ascended, had a means of removing an individual's soul and gaining complete control of their physical form. That might explain why the winged warrior had our souls, but why would they want to control our bodies? If it is as I believe, and the exit to the world above is governed by restriction, then I assume that they cannot trust you as they are. But if they could change their form? Oh no. They want to possess our bodies and use them to return.